Titans are so-called super species. They have existed and roamed the earth millions and millions of years ago and went into hibernation for some unknown reason. While some of these titans re-emerged in the past, most of them stayed dormant until Ghidorah sounded his alpha call. Kong never bothered to answer him back. Anyway, in this video we shall list down the titans that were killed or suspected to be killed by Godzilla. There are 7 of these on this list, but not all of them are from the movies. So let's get to them, starting with Number 1. Shinomura. Shinomuras are swarm parasitic mutos that evolved and lived 250 million years ago. Back then, a Shinomura landed on a small island to feast upon the remains of a large aquatic creature. It failed to notice Godzilla and was subsequently blasted by his atomic breath. The body of the Shinomura fell into a fissure crack and was trapped until 1945. When it re-emerged, it was hunted by the G-Man all over the world. It then divided itself into 2 swarms, but one part of the swarm was killed on Monster Island in 1954 by Godzilla, shooting it down with a powerful atomic breath, while the rest was obliterated at Bikini Atoll by a nuclear bomb by the United States military. Hence, this is the first recorded Titan kill of Godzilla. Number 2. Muto Male. The Muto's name is an acronym for Massive Unidentified Terrestrial Organism. The Mutos are known to have been developed from Rock Mutal and Pterodactyl, 2 early monsters from the development of Godzilla. The male is described as young, growing and looking for food before meeting with the female, so he consumes radiation to gain strength. When he encounters Godzilla for the first time, he reacts with hostility and becomes defensive, attacking him whenever an opportunity becomes available and evading when possible. Of course, during the battle in San Francisco, he was killed by Godzilla with a massively powerful tail swing, crushing him against a skyscraper. Number 3. The Muto Female. As a species, the Mutos are sexually dimorphic, as there are several differences between the males and the females. The female Muto has 2 pairs of forelimbs and a smaller pair on her chest, and is much bigger than the male Muto, standing nearly twice the height of the male and being almost as tall as Godzilla. As a team, both Mutos are powerful and able to beat Godzilla down with their combined strength, but alone she was easily overpowered by the G-Man and was gravely weakened by his first atomic breath. She was later killed by another of Godzilla's atomic breath, but this time right through her mouth and decapitating her head. Number 4. The Muto Prime. The 4th Titan to be killed by Godzilla was another subspecies of the Mutos, and it was bigger, badder and uglier than the previous ones. It reappeared into the world a few months after the deaths of the 2 Mutos. The Muto Prime is nearly identical in appearance to the regular female Muto, except for several notable differences. The Muto Prime has a hardened outer shell with razor-sharp back spires on it, large orange glowing forelimbs, as well as several smaller pairs of forelimbs on her chest. She is the only Titan with a recorded kill against another Titanus Gojira. However, in 2014, her battle with the present Godzilla proved disastrous for her, as she was killed with a massive nuclear pulse emanating from Godzilla's dorsal plates. Number 5. Margygr. The Margygr was seen as a corpse under study in Castle Bravo. After entering the station, Mark Russell stares at the gigantic creature's head like it came out of a nightmare and was told that it was another Titan called Margygr. It looked as reptilian as Godzilla, but the resemblance ended there. The face was flat, the eyes were facing forward like a human, and her nose was located above the eyes. She was found frozen near the Arctic, already dead from a fatal wound that rifts from the bottom of her neck to the abdomen, a wound that was caused by something hot and fiery and also underwater, which would therefore point out to the only culprit. Yes, Godzilla might have killed it with his atomic breath. Number 6. Anguirus Species. The 6th Titan kill is more of an educated guess and you might say a presumption, but let me get to it and I'll explain why. In King of the Monsters, Mark and the rest of the team went in search of Godzilla and discovered a gigantic underwater kingdom, and this prehistoric civilization worshipped and lived alongside Titans under Godzilla's benevolent rule. During their venture, they discovered the skeletal remains of a Titan that kinda resembles Anguirus. This Titan appears to be 4-legged, dinosaur-like, that combines the features of an ankylosaurus, a sinoceratops, and a crocodile. But the strange thing is that it was dead, and since it was in Godzilla's lair, it might have lost its way, met the king, and found itself in the arms of an angel. Number 7. Ghidorah. And yes, the last and also the latest titan to be killed by Godzilla is none other than the false king, Monster Zero, standing at 521 feet tall and weighing 140,000 tons, coming in from another planet, King Ghidorah. He is an extremely malevolent entity, a three-headed dragon that comes from space with an aim to transform the Earth and kill everything else. Ghidorah and Godzilla are pretty much equals. While Ghidorah might be stronger on land and air, he definitely is powerless underwater as seen in the battle off the coast of Mexico. Nevertheless, when Godzilla transformed into his burning form, he completely incinerated him with his nuclear pulse and blasted the last head with an atomic breath. And with this we come to the end of the list of the 7 titans killed by MonsterVerse Godzilla. Subscribe and share our videos, and do check out our other monster videos as well.